for almost a year now, I've been working this job. Okay, let's say 4 months from now, maybe it's 1 year since I started to work this job. So, okay, like I started to work this job about a year ago, but I started to kind of make money. Like, let's say the last 6, 7 months, it's something like that, 6, 7, 8 months ish. And like I always say in pretty much all my videos, nothing crazy, nothing like super, like I'm not rich by any means. I wish I was. But I've started making significantly more money than when I was broke, right? Like when I was in school, when I was a student, just suffering and slaving away, broke as fuck, I couldn't buy anything. And to the point that I started to just buy phones randomly, right? So like there was a time that pretty much every 2 weeks I would just buy like a new phone. And don't get this wrong, it's not like they were brand new phones, they were always like used, but it's pretty much still a new phone anyway. But the point I'm trying to make is I started to make significantly more money than I ever made before. And somehow I started to spend even more money than I was making. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like I had to make significantly more money, like way more money than I ever started making in my life. And I was on spending more money than I was making, right? And you know what happens when you spend more money than you make? You go in debt, right? You start to lose money, like you get poor again. So, and the recently, like the last few weeks now, everything has been kind of rough. The cash flow isn't flowing as much as it used to, and things have kind of stagnated. Things are like these are hard times basically. But it's made me realize that I have this very bad habit of lifestyle inflation, right? I'm sure we have all heard it. And the crazy thing is, before I started to make money, like I said, nothing crazy, nothing, pretty much still broke. If I started to get like a little bit of money, right? Before I started to work the jobs, I always used to watch all those, make money online, finance videos, lifestyle inflation. Oh, never spend more than you make, blah blah blah. And I could swear that I would never become one of those people, because then you see like maybe friends or family or just random people, like the decisions they make with money, and you be like, oh, that's so stupid. They should have done this instead. If they are taking this money and put it inside this and done this and done this and do, like they'll be way better ahead. And then I started to make a little bit of money, and I'll argue I even did worse than those people, right? Like it's like I was just sitting down looking back at this, that I'm making like the money I make now. If I go and check my account, the money that flowed through this month is just wild. Like that is like money that was pretty much impossible. Like it's just money that was impossible for me to have access to, and that's money I have access to now. But guess what? Also, not like it's almost like immediately the money comes, it just goes out. No, it's before the money even comes in, it has already gone out. So before the money even like comes, it has evaporated, because I've already spent the money before it even came. And that is one of the worst things you can do ever. Like you just get in debt. And when I sat down to reflect, I just asked myself, like, the only thing I think I bought that was actually worth the money I spent is this internet, right? Like I bought this little router. I don't know if you can see it well. This little router gives like more data internet. It's not even the best one on the market. There are much better ones on the market, so I'm planning to upgrade soon. But so far, I can argue that that's the best one I've bought. That's the only thing that I feel like I spent money on that was actually worth it. Everything else, not worth it at all. Because all the phones I was buying like every 2 weeks, usually because they are not like new, they are already used phones and all that, they were still pretty expensive. Even though slightly cheaper than they were new. They will end up either developing problems, or I'll just end up giving it to family, right? Because if you're like one guy using like 5 different phones and your family members, their own phones are not good, all of them will start to like swarm around you, like, oh, I need a phone, please give me one, this is this. So I ended up just giving pretty much all of it away. And the rest of the money, I can't even document what I even use it to do, right? Like there was still another phone I tried to buy again and I still got scammed. So the phone never came, like the person took the money and just ghosted me. So just stupid decisions like that. But it just made me realize like this is another thing that keeps people stuck in the rat race, in the sense that you get all these things you don't need. So like you spend the money before the money even comes, and use it to buy pretty much 90% of things you don't need. And as a result, because first of all you get used to like this lifestyle of having, let's say expensive shits, and also you don't want to lose those expensive shits, you have to just keep working this job. So it's just this cycle that never actually ends. So you work the job to buy stuff, and you buy stuff so you can work the job, and you work the job to buy more stuff, buy more. So you just go down this rabbit hole, this rat race, like paycheck to paycheck type of lifestyle, and you're not actually able to do anything reasonable with your money. That's literally the position I found myself. So this next chapter I'm stepping into, I'm really planning of like taking my financial life seriously. And like I said, the job I'm working is not like I'm making anything crazy or anything significant or whatever. Like it's still pennies at the end of the day. But it doesn't mean because it's pennies I should just blow it. And it's one thing I've heard before, but I didn't really believe it. It's like I don't know if it was in the Bible or the said, but it's just like a general saying that the person that is faithful to little will be faithful to a lot. But the person that is not faithful to little will not be faithful to a lot. And I really believe that. Okay, yes. So there's this one from the Bible. Like there was a master, right? It was like a parable. So a master was about to travel. So he had like 3 servants or 5 servants or something like that. So he gave all these servants like talents, right? So he gave one servant like 5 talents, he gave another one like 2 talents, he gave this one 3 talents, he gave all of them different talents. Then he gave one of them just 1 talent, right? So all the guy that gave 5 turned his own talent, so that let's use it money or whatever. He was basically able to double the investments this master puts in him. So from 5 he was able to double it to like 7 or 10 or 8. The guy that he gave 2 was able to double his own to like 5 or 6 or 7. The guy that he gave 3 was able to make his own 6, 7, 8, and so on. But the guy that he gave 1, he just didn't even try. It was just like, I just have 1 talent. Like this basically cannot do anything for me. So he just went to like hide it. He kept it under his bed. So I think a few weeks or a few months later, like, after a while, the master came back and he was asking them like, so what did you do with the talents I gave you, right? So the guy that he gave 5 or 6 or 7, whatever, was like, oh master, look, this is what I did. The one you gave me, I was able to double it and make it grow. So now I have 10. And it was like, wow, that's very good. So this one, oh, you gave me 3, I was able to double it and make it grow. Now I have 7, and so on and so forth, right? So he got to the guy that he gave 1, and he was like, what did you do with the talent I gave you, the money? And he was like, oh master, you gave me just 1, and 1 is basically, not good enough to do anything. So I didn't even grow it and all that. And the master said, he said, well, since you're not serious, like since you don't value it, he took that 1 talent from him and gave it to somebody else, and literally that guy had nothing. So the whole point of that parable, at least the way I'm able to interpret it, is like, usually when we start out, we don't usually start with huge stuff, right? It's like your job, for example, or your source of income, like, might be broke as fuck. And if you're working a job, the job is not probably not paying you millions, right? It's not like crazy money. So it's still little money, and it's true because day-to-day life, especially if you live in like a place like Nigeria, where everything is falling apart and the whole country is expensive or whatever, like inflation is crazy, whatever. Like the small salary or the small change you're able to say like is basically not enough to do anything. But the person that, no matter how small, no matter how insignificant, no matter how tiny the money is, the person that is still able to find a way, somehow, some way, to make something out of it, to make something good out of it, and still be able to double that money, triple that money, multiply it. And I say double or triple, it doesn't mean you go and put it into like crypto or forex or betting or whatever, right? Like, it's just as long as you're able to save the money, and it's not like you will save it all till you become a millionaire, but just save the money till it's enough for you to do something significant that will get you to that next level, right? So for example, if you want to start like some sort of business, you save up the money to buy inventory, you save up the money to buy equipment, you save up the money to hire somebody, you save up the money to travel to this place so you can do this thing or get access to this, and so on and so forth, right? So it's like the person that is able to manage whatever little thing he has to do bigger things is going to do way better when he does now have bigger things, right? Because if, for example, you have little money and you're able to actually manage it and nurture it well and use it to do good things, when big money actually comes into your hand, you will use that one for much better. Because a lot of people's mindset is like, oh, this money is too small, it can't do anything significant. But so when I have big money, then I will do something significant. But I found that to be absolutely a lie. If when you have small money, you don't do something significant, when you have a lot of money, you still would not do something significant. Like, that's me speaking. Because I remember a lot in the past, my elder brother was the one that used to really like push this agenda. And it would be like, oh, I should try to save. And I'll just be thinking like, bro, like, I barely even have fucking money, right? Like, I barely even see money. So what the fuck am I supposed to save, right? and he still used to try, at least try his best to save whatever he can save, right? But me, I just didn't believe, because I just thought that, okay, when I'm, making significantly more money, like reasonably money, of course then it will make sense to save. And now this is, few months slash years later. Like I said, I'm not rich by any means, but I'm making significantly more money than I was then, and I still have no savings, right? Like if you check my accounts now, all of them are empty. And it's sad. It's a different thing that they are empty because, oh, my money is in investments, so it's in this or this. Like I just have no money. Like if I don't get paid like this month, or if like that cash flow doesn't come, and now that it has slowed down drastically, like I'm cooked basically, I'm fucked, right? So I guess the little lesson here, the little points is just like, whatever you have, you want to be faithful to it. Whatever you have, you want to use it to the best of your ability. Because if you feel like, oh, I need a big amount of capital, or I need this big amount before I can do anything drastic, like you're going to wait forever. It's the person that is faithful to little that can start, that can grow and nurture whatever little thing it has to become something significant, that actually becomes, successful, right? And it does. Money is just an example, but in terms of anything, if maybe, for example, oh, I want to be a YouTuber or content creator or whatever, like you'll be thinking, oh, I need the best camera, the best laptop, the best equipment, the best lighting, the best studio, the best this and that. And true, those will help. But if the little crappy phone you have, you're not already using it, like I can promise you that even if I give you all that stuff, you would not still become successful, because you have not nurtured that habit of just being consistent. You have not nurtured that habit of actually showing up. You have not nurtured that habit of just being good, right? So again, it just goes with everything. Like if it's money, no matter how small the change is, try to like save it up and make it significant. And if it's you want to start a business, you want to learn a skill, you want to do this or do that, wherever you are, like start where you are. You don't need to wait for the future. Start where you are right now. So anyways, long story short, moving forward, I want to really like I want to actually get rich, right? Like even though the job I'm working is kind of nice, that cash flow here and there, but I want to actually like get rich as fuck. Like I want to actually have a lot of money to be able to afford stuff. I don't just want to say that, oh, money flows, but at the end of the day, nothing to show for it, right? Like I want to actually have money. So that's the chapter I'm stepping into this next few weeks, months, years, whatever. So anyways, thanks for watching this one. See you next one.